Hi guys, it's Hinda and welcome to Cooking Fantasies. In today's video, I want to share with you how I make these delicious ice cream bars at home with milk chocolate and nuts or white chocolate and nuts. Really easy to make and super delicious as summer treat. So basically we're going to be making the same ice cream base we made together in a previous video. In the previous video we made the ice cream with 6 different flavors, but today I want to be introducing new flavors. We're going to be making a double chocolate ice cream bar, which is basically ice cream chocolate and covered with milk chocolate and nuts, and the second one is going to be milk cream ice cream, also covered with white chocolate and nuts. And before we start, if you are new to the channel, like always, I'm going to be leaving you down in the description box all the ingredients you're going to need in both the grams and the cups measurements, as well as a link to the full recipe. And let's get started. So in addition to the ingredients we need for the ice cream base, we're going to need unsweetened cocoa powder and milk powder for the milk cream one. And for the milk powder, to prepare it, we're going first to toast it in a hot pan on a medium heat until it starts slightly browning. So keep stirring and then remove it as soon as you start seeing a difference in the color. Make sure not to burn it, otherwise it will be bitter. And now to prepare the ice cream, we're going to be making the same recipe we made together in the previous video. And it's a very easy recipe. You only need 2 ingredients: heavy whipping cream and sweet condensed milk. Make sure your both ingredients are very cold right out of the fridge. I'm going to start by beating the heavy whipping cream until it starts getting foamy. Then go ahead and add the condensed milk and keep mixing until you have a nice creamy texture. You don't want to overmix it until it's very stiff and buttery. You want to have a nice thick consistency and creamy, then it's ready. You can stop already. This recipe with 1 can of sweet condensed milk and half a liter heavy whipping cream or 2 cups makes about 12 ice cream bars. You can adjust the recipe depending on how many you want to make. Here I made 2 kinds, so I'm going to divide my ice cream base. For the first kind of ice cream that I'm making, which is the milk cream, I'm going to be simply adding the toasted milk powder that we have already prepared to my ice cream base and gently fold it in. I'm also going to add a dash of vanilla extract. This is optional. If you don't like milk powder or you don't have it available, you can use any other flavor. I'm gonna leave the link down in the description box to the previous video where we made other flavors, and I would recommend strawberry, raspberry, or any kind of fruit that you like. All the acidic fruits go very well with white chocolate. And I'm going to simply add my ice cream to the molds. And of course, you don't have to use the very same molds that I'm using. You can use any ice cream or popsicle molds that you have available at home, or you can even get creative and use whatever you have in the kitchen that can go in the freezer. You can even use empty pudding cups, just wash them and freeze your ice cream in them. Make sure to add the wooden stick to the ice cream before it's frozen. I also like to use a small spatula to get rid of the excess ice cream and have them neat and even. You can use the back of a knife or the back of a spoon, whatever you have available. And up to the freezer for at least 4 hours. And let's prepare the second kind, which is a double chocolate ice cream bars. I call it double chocolate because it really deserves the name. It's very chocolatey. You can adjust that if you don't like a strong chocolate flavor. You can use sweetened cocoa powder or simply reduce the quantity of the unsweetened cocoa powder. And this time, instead of just folding, I really like to use a mixer to make sure that all the chocolate is well incorporated. You don't want to end up with bits of chocolate powder that are bitter while you're eating your ice cream, so a mixer does the job very well. And again, I'm going to add my ice cream to the ice cream molds. And And as I was saying earlier, you can use any molds that you have available in the house, but I really like these silicone molds, especially in this shape. They are very practical, really easy to make. I just freeze everything in there, sometimes even yogurt with pieces of strawberry or fruits, and I also use them to make cakesicles, which is like pieces of cake with frosting covered with chocolate. Really pretty, and they never fail to impress. And again, I'm going to be inserting the wooden sticks before the ice cream is frozen and place them in the freezer for at least 4 hours, or even better, overnight. Once the ice cream bars are frozen, I'm going to prepare the coating, and for this I have some white chocolate and milk chocolate that I'm going to melt in the microwave. Meanwhile, I have some chopped almonds. You can use peanuts or whatever nuts that you prefer. If you are melting the chocolate in the microwave as I did, make sure not to set it for more than 30 seconds at the time while mixing in between, otherwise the chocolate will easily and quickly burn. So 30 seconds, and keep stirring until you have a nice melted chocolate. The other option, of course, is to use a double boiler or a hot water bath. And once your chocolate has totally melted, go ahead and add about 3 tablespoons of nuts. I really like nuts, the flavor, the texture. You can add less if you like to, and mix it in the chocolate while it's still melted. You can of course also use dark chocolate instead of milk chocolate, but I wouldn't suggest use dark chocolate with chocolate ice cream because it will just be too chocolatey. My ice cream bars are frozen, and make sure to take them out only when you want to cover them with the chocolate, as they should be still frozen and the chocolate still melted. Still melted, but not too hot. And since I'm using silicone molds, as you see, it's really easy to remove the ice cream bars. If you are using any other kind of molds, maybe plastic, then you might need to apply some heat, maybe from your hands or a hot towel, that they come out really easy. The most important thing is that they should be still frozen. Adding the melted chocolate to a long cap makes it very easier to coat the ice creams without having too much wasted or leftover melted chocolate. And as you see, I will simply dip the ice cream bars into the melted chocolate. The ice cream bars are frozen. The chocolate is still melted but not too hot. This is the perfect combination. As you see, the chocolate sets immediately. But you still want to place them again in the freezer after coating them until the chocolate is totally set, and then of course you're going to leave them in the freezer until you want to consume them. I really like this white chocolate and milk cream ice cream bars. I like the idea of adding toasted milk powder. It adds a lot of texture and it also gives it more flavor. It makes it more rich and more depth without adding to the sweetness, which makes it really perfect. But as I said, you can add any flavor that you like and that you think goes good with white chocolate. And I'm going to repeat the same thing with the double chocolate ice cream bars. Of course, I placed the ice cream bars again in the freezer until I needed them, and I'm going to add my melted chocolate with the nuts in a cap to apply it easier. Well, I forgot to mention that I slightly toasted my nuts in a pan for 2 minutes on a medium heat. This brings up more flavor and makes them more crunchy, and then allow them to totally cool before you add them to the melted chocolate. I forgot to mention this earlier, so make sure to check the recipe down anyway. I'm going to be writing down all the steps. If you don't like a strong chocolate taste, go ahead and use a simple vanilla ice cream base and cover it with the chocolate just like we did for this one. The good thing about making your own ice cream bars at home that look beautiful and fancy and really delicious with the perfect texture is that you can combine your favorite flavors or even make different flavors using basically one recipe to make everyone happy. I hope you enjoyed today's video and you will be trying out this recipe. If you still have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me down in the comment sections. I will definitely get back to you. And if you try out this recipe, please let us know in the comment section how it turned out. I'm always very happy to read your feedback. I thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell to get notified whenever a new recipe is up. Don't forget to check out all the links you need down in the description box, and see you soon in a new video.